works here.
Works here?
Yes, sir. Like, we came here Monday or Tuesday after the incident, me and my husband. And
What's her name that works here?
Jennine Merlino. Merlino.
What does she do here?
To be honest with you, I do not know. I just know my husband saw her here.
Okay.
So she decided, her and her husband came to this meeting. She decided to attack another homeowner because she was upset on something else.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came here, they were asking me, I was like, well, she happens to work here. What kind of, you obviously think what kind of objectivity is there going to be when an employee actually works here?
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. They asked me if I saw the situation. I did. She was like verbally lunging and physically lunging at someone and in their face. And anyway, there was deputies there, but I put a statement in and I gave it to them. Well, I told them, I said, what do I do about mine? I called my friend that's an attorney, and outside of civil, she said there's definitely criminal here.
Have you told this person to quit, to cease?
Most definitely.
You have documentation where you said, I need you to cease all communications with me.
I've actually got 4 statements from 4 different individuals that witnessed what he did. I didn't provoke him. I wasn't even speaking to him. And this individual proceeds to get within 6-7 inches of my face, screaming and pointing at me in a public setting.
Okay, because when someone is harassing you, you have to let them know.
I did.
I need you to cease all communication.
I said,
no emails, no phone calls, no texting. I don't want you
We're
to
on
be
the
near
board
me.
together, though. He's the secretary of the board, and I'm the president.
So y'all have to be around each other.
Well, we have, yeah. In
So
the
you guys have
setting,
to communicate.
Yes. And so this is his level of communicating in public with me, and I don't know what to do.
What is he saying as far as saying? Is he cussing about you to the public?
He's trying to
Is he
sit here and
making the
defame
vulgar?
me and try to sit there and say that I'm a liar. And all I'm trying to do is tell the homeowners, like, if you're putting X dollars into a budget, I'm letting them know, hey, this is what we're voting on. But because he doesn't want it public, he starts trying to defame me in front of everybody. And I'll be honest with you, one of these was an ex-police officer that witnessed this, and I'm putting my hand going, I don't have anything to do with what's going on. I have no reason for you to be hostile to me. I'm not being that way to him. But I feel like that's how he is, and that's his personality. And I've asked him in emails, please don't speak to me that way. Don't try to be intimidating. But I think that's how they deal with stuff. That's how they do it publicly in front of a multitude of people, and all these people cite the same thing. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do outside of sue him civilly for.
Are you getting text messages?
Yes,
Is he bothering you with text messages?
So I go outside to walk our dog. He's in his golf cart outside of my house.
Have you sent him a message saying, you need to not talk to me or call my phone?
No, sir, I haven't.
See, we got to start with that.
I didn't respond to.
If you need to communicate with me, it needs to be business only, meaning the HOA.
And he
right?
And he is. So he is communicating. Sorry, let me go to. So this apparently was a burner phone. We looked it up, and it came into me Sunday.
Who's this person?
The person that works here?
No, this guy.
This is, he's the secretary on the
What's his name?
Frank Merlino, Merlino.
I don't know. Okay.
And so I even went to the district attorney's office at the courthouse, and I was thinking that maybe I would file with the investigator, but they won't do it unless I have an incident. I came here and spoke with Sergeant Strowski on Tuesday, and I was filing the report for what she did, and I was telling him about this one, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't really understand what I'm supposed to do. This is the way Texas
looks at harassment. Harassment is someone who's bothering you, keeping you from your day-to-day activities.
Okay.
If you're vacuuming the house and your phone keeps going off, you're having to stop what you normally do to answer these annoying.
What about these
annoying texts?
Meetings, and he decides to just get up and start screaming at me within inches of my face? Is that supposed to be okay?
No, it's not okay, but there's no law broken.
There's no
He didn't-
intimidation.
He didn't
or
cuss at
anything.
you. He didn't say any threats towards you.
He did say threats.
That needs to be an HOA.
No,
A
he
threat. A threat is
He
like.
said, you're going to get to know me. You're going to get to know me real well. You don't want me mad. You don't like, he said it like, you don't want me mad. You don't want to get to know me mad. To the point that my husband was behind me, and he said, don't disrespect my wife. And he goes, you're going to get to know me real good. What is...
Well, the way a threat is read in Texas Penal Code, it needs to be, I'm going to kill
maybe
you.
if he shoots me. Maybe.
But you get what I'm saying?
I don't know.
It's got to be specific. Now, what I can do is call him and let him know too that he needs to cease all communication with you unless it's HOA material only. Because it sounds like
And
you
he
have to
can't
work
sit
with
here
this guy.
and, try to humiliate someone and get in their face. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Well, that's going to be part of it. Maybe the HOA board needs to vote him off the board if he's acting like this in front of the HOA board.
I agree. I just feel like at this point, should I just pursue civil? Because it's going to cost me about $7,500 just to pursue civil. And these people all witnessed it.
Do you have to talk to this guy? Because I'll tell him to cease all communication.
I don't really know.
And when I say cease all communication, that means phone calls, text, emails, any type of messaging service there is out there in the world. And if he continues to message you after a police officer's told him to cease, then we've got harassment. Because he's been told to stop communicating with you, but he's disregarded my orders. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. I just don't want to be. I didn't know how to even. My husband's behind me and trying to sit here and basically tell this guy to stop, and he's not.
Does he treat all women like this?
No. No. Especially, yeah. No. He treats.
Because you said that you.
No,
Because you
I'm
said
the only
that's.
female.
Okay,
No, he did
but you said being around him more, it's like that's his normal attitude, his normal
So
self.
this is what he's doing to these other women as well. I mean, in that same meeting, he's deciding to scream and yell and curse at them and call them names, and this is what he's doing. And I'm like,
Well, he's being out of order in the meeting.
I agree.
Usually when you act like that, you're asked to leave.
I agree.
Was he asked to leave?
No, sir.
Yeah, because you can't get loud. You can't stop the information being brought out to the public.
My whole thought is, I just wanted to stop.
Okay, would you be happy if I called this guy and spoke to him and said, "Hey"?
I want to follow an incident so he stops, because I feel like he's not going to take it seriously until he. I mean, I have.
Well, I need to tell him first to cease all communication. That way, he's been told to stop communicating with you. Now, if he disregards what I told him, then we've got a good case of harassment because I've already told him to stop, and he's disregarding my orders.
Okay. So you're going to tell him not to sit here and get in my face and scream at me and yell at me in a meeting.
That's totally different because you have to work with this guy on the HOA board.
I know, but I don't have to.
Who's the person that says you're out of order? You need to leave. Isn't that you?
I am.
Then you need to tell him he's out of order and leave.
I know this is going to sound crazy from you, but my stepfather used to abuse my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like I just become 12 years old when this person starts just screaming at me. I can't. Instead of speak up for myself.
Have you thought about stepping down and just staying?
I have. I really have.
I mean, I can obviously see it's emotional for you.
Well, it's because it's like he's in my face. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to push him away. I'm putting my hand out like this, and he's closer to me than that. And I don't get it. I mean, I don't understand how that's okay. I guess I've never encountered something.
In order for something to do in that, you need to be cussed at, foul language. He needs to put hands on you. He needs to threaten assault on you. Then we can intervene. But two people yelling at each other, there's not a whole lot we can do. And that's where the courtroom would say, "Hey," I'm just saying. Well, he's yelling at you. That's where the courtroom would say, or you, "Hey, you're being out of order, out of line. You need to leave." And that's where a deputy can say, "Hey, you need to leave because you've been dismissed."
Well, there was a deputy here on the second one, and he was screaming at my husband, and the deputy didn't ask him to leave. He asked my husband to leave because Frank was in a meeting with me, like we were going to have a meeting. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how that was, and he's sitting here threatening from afar to my husband, sitting here saying, "You're going to get to know me," blah, blah, and I'm thinking, how is that okay?
Well, it's not really a threat. He didn't say, "I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to kill you."
Was he going to get to know us with a hug, or?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right?
I mean, what are you
But in
doing?
order for us to enforce something, we got to hear those specific words. Okay? I know what I'm telling you is not helping your situation.
No, I just want
I'll be more than happy to call this guy, and then we can have it documented that I called this guy and spoke to him that he needs to cease all communication with you. I don't know how it's going to work when we have an HOA meeting, though.
I know.
Maybe he can quit sending emails, texts, your phone,
Yeah.
and just keep it business only with the HOA.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that?
Of course I would. I mean,
Okay.
and I don't.
Now, I'm going to put it on speakerphone, and this is all being recorded, so I'm going to put this on speakerphone so everybody hears it. I don't need you speaking. I just want you to hear what's going on.
Okay.
Is he going to answer his phone?
I would assume.
Okay. What's his name?
His name is Frank Merlino.
Frank? Okay.
Do you want to read this at all before you get on the phone? I mean, at all, so that you can at least.
This is just talking about his behavior towards you, right?
Correct. In the two meetings, and this first one's my husband's. So I just want, in case he brings something up, at least you know what you're.
Oh, this is not going to be a lengthy conversation. This is just me telling him that he needs to cease all communication with you, period. And if he continues to communicate with you, then charges of harassment will happen.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
If he's being out of order in y'all's HOA rules, then he needs to be dismissed from his position.
I agree, but because he has, and again, this goes back to the whole, and I don't mean any disrespect, it goes back to the whole boys club right here, because his friend is on the HOA, and they protect this kind of behavior. It's in the neighborhood. Like, it's just so bad. Like, they're known for doing this to people. And this is okay and permitted because one's an ex-firefighter, and this one, it's bad. And it's not, and I've really prayed about it, and I'm like, okay, I can't really do anything for the community at this point, because I feel like at this point, and I've said it in emails, please don't talk to me this way. I've said it in emails, please don't. My friend that's an attorney, I've copied her. I'm like, what do I do? She's like, this is harassment. And in fact, do you want to?
But the harassment I need to hear is you're getting emails all day long where it's keeping you from your day-to-day lifestyle, where you're having to stop what you're doing. What's going on? Why does the phone keep ringing? Why am I getting all these texts? I've already told this guy, the deputy told this guy to cease all communication. Now he's disregarded what I said, and he's still keeping me from me doing my day-to-day activities. I need to hear multiple emails, multiple texts.
Apparently he was recorded on this first one, sir. This first one, he starts screaming and yelling and charging up and down the aisle and screaming in my face. It was all recorded with an audio. Certain neighbors in there were recording all of it, and it's on an audio. And he's screaming, just yelling. So
he needs to be dismissed from his position. I don't understand that.
I don't disagree with you there. I'm not disagreeing. I just have never
But
encountered that.
For someone to scream, well, you just told me, in a courtroom setting or an HOA board,
He should have been told.
He should have been told to leave. There's no criminal charges. He's just being loud, being vocal, walking aggressively, but he hasn't broken any laws. But maybe there's rules he broke with the HOA, the way he acted.
Well, they're saying that and that's one of the things you didn't, basically a code of conduct, like you would you respect one another, but they don't mandate it. So, like, for example, if you do something, if you're part of their little thing, and you can argue, look the other way. It's just so asinine. And for me, dealing in corporate America, if I'm outside of my skill set. I just don't know how to contend with it. So it's either this, or I'm going to have to hire a civil suit, because at this point, I can't keep having this happen to me. Now I go outside and walk our dog, and I see him in a golf cart outside of my house. Don't get me wrong, we don't live really close to one another. We have some space, but there was no reason for him to be outside of his golf cart. And then
But he can drive his golf cart all over the streets.
I agree, but what I'm trying to say is it's very odd for you to be right there parked in front of my house. And I'm getting burned. I trail this back, and it's a burner phone, bought by Spectrum. I mean, they have a problem with me hanging out with certain female neighbors, because those neighbors have also cited sexual harassment against them and intimidation, and because they're upset, they want me to stop associations, And that's one of the reasons he was screaming at me in the meeting, was because he doesn't, but these females have all been, are all citing this. And at this point, in all truth and honesty, they're going to sue them for this behavior because they're doing it to neighbors. They're doing it to people that are just as much a neighbor as he is. It just so happens he was elected as secretary. I was elected as the president. But I'll be honest with you.
Have you been through the rules and code of conduct?
Most definitely.
Okay,
I
then-
even called our HOA attorney, and he said he's the same mindset. This shouldn't. To call him on the phone, and he has emails where he's like, "This behavior is bad." He's like, "It's so bad. It's harassment." It's they call. And I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to be like, oh, sorry, I couldn't.
Okay, what's his name? His first name?
His name is Frank.
Frank, and then what's your first name?
My name is Lisa.
Lisa, okay.
And his phone number is 631-371-1886.
And you want me to tell him to cease all communication with you?
Outside of HOA, he doesn't need to be like, this stuff that he was trying to talk to me about.
Do you have to talk to him when you're in an HOA meeting?
No, sir. I do
Okay,
not.
then let's not talk at all.
Yeah.
So who's he going to share his business with?
He can share it with his buddy, the one
Is
he's
there-
been sharing it with.
Is there an assistant principal?
He has a vice president.
Vice
and
president?
Yes, sir. There's a member at large, and then there's a treasurer. He can share all that information. He just doesn't have to be in my face.
Okay, so he doesn't need to speak to you, acknowledge you, talk to you. If there's information he needs to give to you, he can give that to the vice president,
Yeah, he
who can give that information to you.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to talk to this guy, you don't want to see this guy, you don't want to communicate,
I don't.
Okay,
This,
all right.
this is how he communicates. I'd rather be without it.
and you're Lisa, right?
Yes, sir. I am.
Frank and Lisa.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you for calling Allstate Derbyshire Wood.
And it will be noted that you were here, I called him and told him on the phone to cease all communication with you. So it's noted that from our conversation moving forward, if he does anything to disregard what I just told him to do, then we definitely got harassment because he disregarded what I told him to say.
Do I get like any kind of number in case it
Yeah.
happens?
Thank you for calling Allstate Derbyshire.
How's his wife? You don't ever see her?
Never. Outside of her deciding she's going to scream and yell at an HOA meeting, and sometimes I'm assuming that's how they communicate to people.
Where do y'all have y'all's HOA meetings?
And take farms in the little chapel.
Thank you for calling Allstate Derbyshire Wood.
Yeah, didn't y'all pay some deputies to be there?
Yes, sir. Two.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The first one we did not. But the second one we did.
How often y'all have these meetings?
It's just standing up. This one's quarterly, so I'm sitting every 3 months. I just got elected 3 months ago. It's been literally the worst time in my whole life.
Does the majority of the
In neighborhood?
neighborhood
Yes,
come to
yes.
vote?
Yes, sir. They do.
That's good. That's good that they come out to vote.
There were a lot
Thank you
of
for calling Allstate.
He waited for this on July 10th. He waited till the majority of the neighborhood left the meeting for him to do it. And my husband just happened to be trying to pick up his PA behind me. I froze. Instead of I always thought if I would,
Is there another number for him?
no sir, not that I'm aware of. I feel like the moment he knows that you're involved, he's just it's gonna come.
No, a lot of times when we're
Thank you for
involved,
calling Allstate. Your patient was-
they go silent, yes. Because then they're like, crap, the police, sheriff's office has been involved, they're watching, so, I better cool it.
My friend's attorney just told me, he was like, it's gonna be about $7,500 to clear civil and go that direction. So if I have to do that, I will.
That's a lot of money to spend. I mean,
know,
this, just me doing this should be enough.
For a free position to help I was like,
I can obviously tell from your emotions that it bothers you. Maybe it's best you just step down and say, somebody else can do this.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. I just hate being a victim, I didn't have so you're just gonna do it to the next female. If someone ever gets on the board that's a female, this is what they're going to have to have.
Did he try to run for president?
Yes, sir, he did.
Okay, I'm gonna go back there and use a phone from there where it says Rockwall Sheriff's Office coming across his phone.
Do you want his email?
No, I want to speak to him. And again, I'm still recorded, so you won't be able to hear the conversation, but it'll be done.
The video camera's on.
Yeah, I know.
Are you on the call?
Yeah.
Are these the same one? Oh yeah, so it's like a second part of it. I mean, it's the same video, but it's like it didn't even start at the same time.
Did you get the emails?
Oh yeah, these videos are bad.
Like good?
Yeah, like she deserved what she did.
Thank you for calling Allstate. Your patient was-
It's the kid. It's sad hearing the kid scream all that stuff.
So he even made a comment. He was like something along the lines of he's just a really sweet kid, and he doesn't like anything bad to happen. And
Yeah, he told me he sleeps in his son's room with him.
Yeah.
Just
Okay, so they're all the same videos. He just sent them multiple times. But they're all shorter. This is the longest one right here, 22. So that's the one I'm going to save as.
pretty much sure did.
I bet you down on it.
Thank you for
Fell
calling
off
Allstate.
the damn ladder helping.
I'm hot.
Got it.
There you are.
Need a light.
What's the report number for this one?
11758.
Same thing.
Got a harassment, and she hasn't told him to cease all communication.
Welcome to Allstate. Frank Merlino. Can I help you?
Hey, Frank, this is Deputy Jason at Rockwall Sheriff's Office. I've got Lisa here in the lobby, and apparently she's the HOA president, and you're the HOA secretary. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, she's here because she's worried about her well-being, her and her family, because of your attitude, your anger towards her. And what I need you to do to keep you from getting in trouble, okay? I'm helping you out also. She wants you to cease all communication. That means no emails, no phone calls, no texts, no burner phones. Don't talk to her. When you do have an HOA meeting, don't acknowledge her. If there's information you need to give to her, go to the vice president, and the vice president give her that information. But I need you to cease all communication. So moving forward, if you disregard what I'm telling you, then yes, charges of harassment will happen. Am I clear?
What is your name?
Deputy Jason, badge 527.
Deputy Jason, I'd like to come down and make a statement and as to what is going on with all of this, because there is a lot more. Because I don't ever put anything in emails other than official business towards Lisa in any way. So I'd like to see some evidence of me doing something that threatened her, because that has never occurred. And there are ample witnesses to this whole event that happened on Monday night that will substantiate that her husband made threats to me.
Okay, Frank, as of right now, there's no report, there's no paperwork. It's just that I'm giving you a warning right now as to cease all communication. So as long as you,
I understand that.
Frank, as long as you do that, you're not going to be in any trouble.
Okay, no, I understand that, but I would like to come in and I would like to make a complaint that her husband threatened me for no reason whatsoever.
And what is that threat that he did?
He threatened to harm me if I spoke to his wife. What I did is I asked his wife for an apology for what has been posted about me on Facebook and other things. So
I think
is this the Rockwell Sheriff's Department or the PD?
This is Rockwell Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there's a lot going on with this.
Frank, again, there's no report, there's nothing going, there's no offense. I just need you to cease all communication with her. That's all you got to do, Frank.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But I'm on emails.
So when you go to HOA meetings and you see her, don't acknowledge her, don't speak to her, speak to the vice president, and the vice president will give her the information that she needs.
Okay, but again, I was threatened at this meeting with a deputy standing next to him when he made the threat. So I would like my protection, that I feel that I'm in danger of this person threatening me.
Okay, you can come up to the office, we can talk. But
Okay.
again, Frank,
It's Jason. What is your last name again?
it's
I'm sorry.
my last name. I go by Deputy Jason because I have a long last name. It's 13 letters. Are you ready?
I do too. So go ahead.
STEFANKIEWICZ.
Stephenkiewicz. Okay. I'm going to head up there because there's way more to this than just this, and there are ample witnesses.
Well, Frank, you're actually making this bigger deal than what it really is. From talking to Lisa, it sounds like it's code of conduct in your HOA meetings, okay? So if you're getting out of hand, getting loud, maybe you need to be dismissed from the HOA meeting, or Lisa or any of the other board members. And if there was, I believe you had 2 deputies there for security at the meeting, right?
That is correct, sir. Yes.
Okay. Well, if the deputies heard what was going on and no report was made, then there wasn't a threat or anything that went on that needed a deputy to address.
Okay, because there's a whole.
This what you want to tell me is all an HOA issue.
Civil.
It's all civil.
Oh, okay. I will speak to who I have to speak to on the other side.
Okay, so,
fine.
sir, before you hang up the phone, one last thing. It will be documented that I spoke to Lisa and I told you on the phone to cease all communication, and you understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so anything further, if you do to call her, communicate with her, so forth, then yes, charges of harassment will happen. Okay, Frank?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Frank. Bye-bye.